Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's update our view on the gold market. So we have prepared a report as usual, and this time we have discovered a lot of things that somehow are ignored by big media. Only the Politica was reading about this, and we are surprised with this fact because we suggest that the topics that have been ignored have a really vital meaning for domestic political life in the United States. I'm speaking about the project of the bill from the Senator Graham, who suggests that the houses should pass the bill that suggests micro control, as they call it, over Trump initiatives to actually impose some sanctions or tariffs or change something or something like this. While it's totally unfit the Donald Trump administration, they suggest that he has to have independence on this subject. Obviously, you could see now, if we would call it names as it stand, the attempt of the quiet coup in the government. So in fact, Senate and the Congress with this bill trying to control the Donald Trump. So in fact, if this bill will pass, it will mean that Donald Trump stops to be president, because he will not have any power. Correspondingly, he can't promise to anything to any other political leader in other countries. So he just can't manage their foreign policy. So this is simple conclusion. And somehow this topic was mostly ignored. I haven't seen it in the big media, such as the Bloomberg, Reuters, or somewhere, although this is really very important. So we have to keep an eye on this moment. Of course, we have to pay attention to gold, particularly, and since in a recent time, especially when starting some gold hype in the media and everywhere, and people start talking that probably it's too late to buy it, and 3,500, it's already high price and hardly will see any performance on the gold, so on. And we just provide you with the answers and the signals from the big fund manager from the Switzerland, who answers on these questions and expressed his opinion on this subject. So I think that's quite interesting, a lot of charts, but in general report was not really big, so it's interesting to read. If you would like to, you could see what he thinks about the current situation, why he thinks that actually probably this is not the final point for the gold yet. So that's what about fundamental background. On the technical side, we have some important things. As you know, that 30% tariffs have been imposed on the euro in the European Union. And on Monday, we could get the gold opening price in quite different place. So I suppose that it might be open with a gap up. I'm not sure with the constant upward rally immediately, but the open price might be slightly higher than it was closed at first moment. In general, by the Friday result, you could see that some important things happened. Trend has turned bullish again on the daily chart, and market was able to keep and untouched the major support. This is 618 support on the whole upper direction. Whatever patterns were forming here, if you remember, we talked about the grabber here, potential grabber here, this was a downside butterfly, and something like this, even ABCD pattern here, none of them have been formed, and market turns up. Don't forget also that this action here, we have the big triangle consolidation on the monthly chart, and actually on the weekly chart, right? So those of you who read our analysis know that we talked about this already for a long time. And such a consolidation in the shape of the triangle pennant near the top, it's always the bullish sign. So we see some actually bullish dynamic pressure also on the weekly chart. And it might happen that the shape that we initially planned to get here, this butterfly has chances to be formed. Maybe not with this single swing to the upside, but gradually market could start forming it and keep moving higher. So based on this conclusion, we probably should return back to consideration of the long positions taken, because the bearish potential patterns that might be formed, all of them have been cancelled. None of them have been formed. So market stubbornly stands above this area, and despite whatever patterns we actually had, none of them has been completed. So it means that here's something better exists, and market can't just break it and just keep going lower. So this is important. On the 4 time frame chart, this is general picture how the performance might be looking. So with this sharp reversal, you can see, if you remember, we talked about the butterfly here. It was erased. Market has shown the spike above this top. Initially, we thought about the grabber. It also has been erased. Now, market has completed minor ABCD on the hourly chart and stands around this area. So that's a few inside targets that we have. Butterfly target on the 4 time frame chart. But what's interesting, if you take a look at 1618 target, 3580, it's very close to what we have on the daily, 36 even. So it actually stands mostly in the same point. This minor 1618 and big 127. Both targets might be reached because market is not ever bad on the weekly and the monthly chart. So obviously, to trade this construction, traders need only the most recent upward swing. So they do not want to see the market drop below the C lows. Otherwise, this construction might be broken, and forming on the bearish reversal swing here suggests that more extended downside retracement may happen, which is contradicts to current performance that we have. So it means that we should be focused just on this most recent upward action for trading. So as I said, it's still the question where market will open, but if somehow we will get downside retracement, so we can see the ABCD pattern that we talked about last week had been completed, and if we'll get retracement somewhere to the 33, 30, 35 area, well, in this case, it might be interesting. It's confidence support, so it's probably the first area that might be interesting to consider taking the long position there. In other things, this is only for active traders or traders who trade on intraday charts. The one thing to mention still is the performance on the top. So guys, if you recognize, here is already some signs exist, especially if you take a look at the 5-minute chart. But if we recognize more carefully that market is forming pennant as well, here is some triangle consolidation. Once again, it could mean that we will not get downside retracement, and market could start upward action immediately. So that's not the moment that we need to keep an eye on, but it might be formed really fast, and we just may be late with the update on this subject. But you could just keep an eye on. If you still will have some doubts whether to take position there or not, the easy solution stands twofold. You could take either small position, for instance, take just 20% of your trading lot and see what will happen. That's first approach. Second approach, you could place the stop buy order above the top or nearer the top, because if triangle starts breaking up, it means that probably it will keep going higher, and that will be ability for position taking as well. You also could actually decrease the trading side in this order as well, but this is actually just two common things that usually traders apply in such circumstances. If somehow we still get this downside retracement by some reason, that will be really good, and actually it might be much safer to take position around the confidence area. That's all for now. Let's take a look at what will happen on Monday, especially how the imposed tariffs on the European Union will impact on the gold price.